All right, everyone, welcome to Franchise Mode. And I got me a very special guest today. I got my friend Faith on here. She's ready to, we going to get into a lot of stuff, Faith. So I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
No problem. Like, we've been looking for somebody that, I was looking for multiple guests, people that know sports. I thought of Faith. I'm like, hey, you want to come on the podcast? She's like, oh, yeah, I definitely come on. So now we're doing a live stream. Okay, Faith, we're going to start with our first topic. We got just NBA players with the best drip. I'm gonna share the screen in a second. We're gonna go through league fits and look at some outfits. But before we do that, there's like any player, this is like I always see him on my timeline. He's always just dripped out.
I mean, personally, I like Jordan Poole's fits just because they're more casual. And I feel like it's something that I could wear too as a female. So I like his fits. Nice and
Yeah,
cozy.
yeah. Jordan Poole stuff. I like Kuzma. I just think he's just a wild guy. So it's just like he just throws on like the craziest outfits that I would not have the confidence to wear.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, what are you wearing? But then I'm like, he does date the model, Winnie Harlow, I think.
Yeah, yeah. He's like
So I'm
high
like, maybe get some
guy.
info from her, some
Uh-huh.
tips or something. Like,
Yeah, so yeah. But okay, I'm about to just let me see this. I'm gonna share the screen. And we're just gonna look at some fits that I just saw on League Fits. We can start. We already talked about Kuzma. So
yeah.
just what this is a very loud fit, I would say. So just what do you think about a fit that's just this loud?
So I did see that today, and it does say red coats, and I was wondering if that's based on like a TV show, because there's some TV show where it's like, I don't know if it's like a pilgrim show or something, but they wear like red, and they have like the little black hat things on. I don't know, but I was like, is that what he's going for? I don't know, but like you said, his stuff is like really out there and just loud.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
that's a good
don't
question.
know, but
Is this inspo from a show? You
I
know,
don't think it is, but
okay.
that's what I thought. But
All right, and then but okay, so first, like when I wear this outfit, I don't think so. Maybe if I was just he had a okay. I think for context, I did watch Wizards game before this. He had like a 36-point game or whatever. So maybe he was just feeling so good after that game that he
yeah,
decided to
for
go
sure.
very bold. So maybe that's why he wore it. Now I do like I do like the way the outfit is. Like I think the red is just really loud red. I don't know if I would wear it with a suit, but like I think it's put together like well. What do you think about
Can
like?
you like zoom in on the shoes?
Yeah, let's see if it lets me zoom. Oh yeah, these look like a
Trying to
product
see
boot,
what
so
kind
like
of boots are those.
Bottega boots or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
mean,
then
I feel like if you wore that, maybe you wear that overseas somewhere, going to like a
yeah,
fashion week or something like that. But
this is just NBA walk center. Like
going
this,
to the locker room downstairs.
and then I'm looking kind of just people. This man has no shirt on, which I mean, this is a very fit man, so he can do this. But me personally, nah, no
You
way.
could do it. You could pull it off.
Like the no
You
shirt.
know how to pull off good fits, so you might could do it.
And then I ain't gonna lie. Now the chain
Mhm.
that I like. Now that's a very controversial chain. Where people don't like. Some people like the pearls, some people don't. I'm in the middle where like some outfits. I think it does go with the look he's going for with the pearl
Yeah, it
chain.
looks good with it. It came together pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Low
Okay.
key though, I would take the hat off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Or maybe
probably
maybe there's a Prada boots. Maybe it's like a Prada outfit. Because yeah, you're right. This is a very random Prada hat. Yeah.
just.
So maybe the boots that would make sense at least. I would say if they were. But okay, now let's. I think I wanted to do. Oh yeah, yeah. I thought this was just a crazy fit. Like this looks like this is just eye drawn. Like, automatically, I saw this. So just first reaction, you're saying Jordan Clarkson, this big outfit. What do you think?
I don't really have any word for him. I feel like it goes well for him. I mean, the pants, it kind of, I don't like them. I feel like it kind of ruins the fit. Just looks too laid back now, maybe.
And
Real big and baggy, MC Hammer or something.
yeah, and I don't know. Like I definitely am not wearing this. Let's start with that.
Mm-mm.
But for some reason, this just still looks cool that he's wearing it. Like I don't know how to explain it, but he just maybe it's the glasses and the headphones. Maybe I just
Yeah,
like
the
that.
glasses is what makes me intrigued, but everything else, I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, no.
And then the jacket is like velvet velour, but the pants aren't.
Oh.
I guess they don't have to match, but I feel like back in the day, they used to match, right? Like, is that how it went?
Yeah, back in the day for sure. But nowadays it's like put anything together, it's a fit.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good. Like it doesn't look crazy or like he just put it together, but it's different times for sure.
Yeah, definitely interesting one. Then I saw this one. I thought.
Oh my gosh. I took screenshots of that of him today. I was like, he looks like the cat from Alice in Wonderland, the Cheshire.
Oh yeah. The purple cat, the big purple cat.
I was like, what is going on here? I don't understand. Like,
is this cat?
Carl Anthony?
Yeah. That's Carl Anthony. It says Shay and D-Lo top 2. I ain't gonna lie, he's gonna be on here. He has drip for sure. And D-Lo,
oh yeah, he does.
Think about D'Angelo Russell.
He always does.
But yeah, so okay, let me say this.
Itchy.
Yeah, I like that's a new thing I realized too. It's called mohair. I think that's the name of like that fabric of sweater.
I don't even know.
I've been seeing that a lot lately. You know when stuff is trendy, like this is what happens. Now, individually, I think that the sweater and ski mask hat vibe, I would actually wear these individually. Together, I wouldn't probably wear them.
Not together, no.
Like they're good pieces overall. I can see. I don't know personally where I wear the crew neck. Personally, I don't know. Like I'm trying to think what event do you wear that to? But
I don't know.
Overall, you don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all. That's why I'm just looking at it like, really? Like, who's your stylist?
Yeah.
Why would they go put this on? This a fit.
And then you wore it, and like, it's kind of small. Like, look, I mean, like it's not oversized. It's tight.
It's not snug, but it's a little tight.
Like short. It's like cropped. Yeah, it's like
short. It's short.
And then I realized he has on dog chains, which that's what's wrong with dog chains. This is definitely throwback though, because we used to wear this in like 2008, but I haven't seen a dog chain in a while. Okay.
Wait, did they show his shoes or it was just?
Nah, I was just I lied. There's 2 pics on here. Oh, okay, this is the full fit. Okay.
What kind of shoes
are? Look like Converse, but no. These are off-white blazers. Regardless, they're gray shoes. That was an interesting little pic, just by the gray with the and then the blue jeans. I don't know which actually I don't think any of this necessarily goes together.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah, interesting guy. Did you see any before I move on? Like, was any of these the ones that you screenshotted?
Yeah, I screenshotted Kuzma, Shay, and Carl.
Okay.
And then Jordan Poole. I don't know if that one's on their Instagram.
Oh, it might be on the Twitter.
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
Okay. Oh wait, this one? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like nice and cozy. I would wear that. That's nice. It's cute.
I feel like this is like some of my own already. Like it just seems like clothes I just already have somehow. Like except for the shoes, I've wanted them. I just haven't got them. But like overall,
get some Birks.
Yeah, like overall, very cozy fit. I'm with you with the comments. Somebody said Robin Lopez at the strip. Now, pregame, to be like a 7-foot person is very hard to wear clothes. So I give him his props. He's a center that even cares about clothes. We've seen like Shaq and Embiid. So yeah. This fit, first the car hat, I think that's just a very hard jacket. That jacket is actually if I'm not mistaken, a vintage car hat. It has to be thrifted or like what's it like Depop. I don't think car even sells like that specific one anymore. And I think the whole fit is like you said, just cozy, just all kind of flows down. Like this is his swag though, I would say.
I think so. He's pretty much casual all the time. Hoodie, nice looking thrifted t-shirt.
Yeah. Like literally it's a monster t-shirt. Like this is like a monster dirt bike. So I'm not even sure that even still comes on anymore. So it has to
I've never seen that myself in real life.
Yeah, so it has to be thrifted. Okay. Then let me see. I think I had that's another Clarkson. That would be a fun one. But
Inspector Gadget.
Oh, this one? I'm not gonna lie. This is Halliburton. This is a wild fit. Shoes, 10 out of 10. But everything else is actually the shoes and pants. We can barely see the pants, but I know what pants are. Good. That was good. The coat was just in the hat are wild though.
Yeah, the hat. I was like
the coat and hat are wild.
He went for the train station.
The hat is crazy. The hat is wild. The hat is wild, bro.
That throws it off for me. That's why I was like Inspector Gadget.
Oh, yeah, people really say Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Danny dressed like two children standing on. Whoa. Okay.
Like in the Little Rascals.
Yeah. But
went to the.
When I read it, I didn't know where that was going, so I didn't want to read it out loud. The way it was sounded, read it down. But it's good because one of my friends actually liked this fit. Like he actually liked the picture. So I think I saw Love. Oh yeah. What do you think about this outfit? This is so Kevin Love. He's literally like your white dad. Like this is how he looks.
Oh yeah, love me some Love,
Mr.
I like his fit. Yeah, a young dad.
Wait, will Tim Duncan be on the list? That man is top 10. You know, it's crazy. This is a very Tim Duncan fit on the screen right now. Just like tall man, like the clothes fit you, but I'm not really trying hard at all.
Yeah.
That man, somebody said this man is about to solve a case. This picture. Then I ain't gonna lie.
The little bag, maybe that could give it away.
Yeah, I love the pants. First, I think these are really good pants. I don't know what pants these are. I would actually wear these pants. And the shoes, of course, I mean, these are the Union ones. I mean, I would wear them, but like $1,000 for Jordans is kind of, you got probably out of the budget. Probably out of the budget. So overall, I think it was a cool fit. Okay, I want to just SJ, but it's a video, and I don't want it to play the noise on the stream. I forgot. I should have screenshot it and send it back to myself.
A video?
Yeah, like the SJ one was a reel. So like it'll play the noise on here. Yeah. Oh, I think that's a crazy one. Let's do. I think I saw. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah.
That's the one that I screenshot of him.
Yeah.
I was like, this is nice. I like this.
Like, and he is again. We went on big jeans way earlier, so we're not even big pants people. But this somehow just looks amazing. Like I don't know what it is, but this looks great.
The big chain.
Then it all goes. Like I don't know. The hair kind of fits the aesthetic too. Like I
mean, I don't know about the jersey. I don't know about Atlanta.
I don't know who this is though. Like who's 27? Somebody drop in the comments who's 27.
I don't know who that is either.
This isn't Vic. Like that's a pretty famous, like you know if it's Vic or like a current player. I don't think this is a current. Somebody said in the AJ jersey.
Go back.
I don't think that's Terrell though. So I don't know.
Giving 90s.
Yeah, it's definitely giving like 2000s, like Nelly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see that. Okay. Oh yeah, this is Halliburton again, everybody. We're gonna do like one or two more after this. I just think he's just a different guy at this point. This says so much about his
very clean.
Like
nice and sharp.
Like this, like I don't know. Like I don't know.
You want that fit, don't you?
I don't know how to describe it because because the shoes pretty classy. The jeans kind of go with the shoes, or maybe it's like trousers. But regardless, they go with the shoes. But then the jacket, that's the only part I don't like. But then the jacket technically does go with the shoes somewhat. But I just don't like the jacket. I don't know what jacket goes with this.
Maybe what kind of hat he has on. Like, is it a basic beanie or something?
Yeah, this looks like a basic beanie. This is actually not a jacket. This is a flannel. This is like a dress shirt, a striped dress. I want this as a flannel. So I guess it does go in that case because technically you would wear that shirt with those pants. So it does go. This is so him though. This fit just fits like his like aesthetic. Like he's just like a clean guy, and this is kind of like he's just like casual, but like a little more business casual, I guess, than most. Okay, then was this it? Oh yeah, Tatum with this wild.
Hold on, The Matrix, Obama. What's this? I like it.
And then like the pants have like a matrixy looking thing. So I'm like, oh, this was tough.
Never seen that before.
Oh yeah, and then I think these are Jordan Lows, which I'm using that for, but these actually go pretty good with this outfit, so I can't be mad at it. Like and then he's again he's 6'10", So it's hard to be drippy at 6'10". He's killing it right there.
I feel like he's always dripping. He always got good outfits.
Yeah, maybe his wife picks out his outfits.
He has a wife?
I think he's married. Well, look, okay.
I thought he was dating Ella Bay.
Oh, you know what?
I don't know, but
no, you're right. No, 100%, because they were at like some like all white party together. I saw like a pictures on Instagram. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's crazy. Ella actually is like, I think it was just her birthday. She's like 28 or something like that. I remember just saying this like the other day. This is random thoughts, but I did see that. But yeah, overall the outfit, I'd rate this like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like
yeah,
for like what he's going for, he's kind of this is it. Yeah. Okay. Now we are going to get into some of our other topics. So I wanted to ask you some questions about Ayesha Curry. As a woman that's on here, just what is your take on Ayesha Curry and just some of the comments she's made over the years?
Well, at first, I thought of her just as an NBA wife or just Stephen Curry's wife, things like that. But I feel like now, over the years, she's made a name for herself. Like she's Ayesha Curry. I don't look at her as Stephen Curry's wife because she has her own businesses and she has a lot going for herself. So, I mean, I think she's a really great woman and she's doing a lot for herself. So
because she does have the cooking show.
Yeah. She has one of the best-selling cooking books, New York Times best-selling books. Yeah. And yeah, she has her cooking show. I think there's actually 2 of them. Yeah. And they're on the Food Network.
Yes, on the Food Network.
And then her YouTube channel, she has videos from fitness videos, vlogging, her cooking, of course. And she has a lot. And she has, what does she have? What is the other thing? Okay. She has her cookware collection. So that's like really big. They have that at Macy's and things like that.
Yeah, like that's like I don't know if she considers herself a chef or I think she's like an actor too. But
oh yeah, she's been in some movies and TV shows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay, with Ayesha Curry, I think she's done a lot. And like you were saying, I think the biggest thing, and I'm not even sure if this was the reason why she was doing that earlier, but she has like her own brand. Like I would consider, even though Curry is like, Curry has his own thing. He's like the head of a whole shoe company with Under Armour. But she kind of has like her own thing going for herself. Like even more so than like I would say like LeBron's wife, Savannah James. Or yes, like she just more than that, like you said, the average NBA wife. But then what did you, I think, what was this, 2016? She had this like the slut shaming comment thing. Do you think that she's grown from that? This is like 6 years ago. So like, do
you remember the exact words?
Okay. So the tweet. Okay, let me see. Let me see the thing I actually have this week. The tweet. Yeah, she just said something of the words like these young girls dress like pretty promiscuous, like, and then she was trying to say like like me, I'm just like more like chill. Essentially, that was the goal of the message. Paraphrasing, of course.
I feel like within the past year, she's been more, I don't know. Open. It seems like she's happy with the way she looks. Not to say that she was never happy, but I've seen comments about her like, oh, why is she showing this of her body, this and that? Did she not get enough attention from Stephen at home or things like that? Yeah. And then I think that goes back to the slut shaming comments or whatever, because she's like, oh,
so you think I'm more projecting? Kind of think she was kind of like projecting her insecurities.
Yeah, because then it's like, are you doing the same thing, kind of? But it's like you shouldn't shame somebody because of what they may be posting or things of that nature. So
facts.
But
yeah, I agree with that. I actually didn't even think about that. This is why you had good perspective on that, because she probably, like you said, could have just been facing some insecurities at that time. And it is Twitter, like you say one thing and then people never let it go, like me. This was 6 years ago. So like it's still like living on in her image. It could have just been like literally a bad day or a low moment. And like you said, she's kind of done a lot since then. I haven't really heard, I would say since 2021, 2020, she really just kind of just been doing the cooking show stuff, doing the acting, just trying to like being like a better mom. They have like what, 3 kids now, or
Yeah,
3 kids now. So like she's
Mhm.
kind of just she's pretty busy. I would say like she's not a stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
under any circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any last comments on Aisha before we move on to the next topic though?
No, I mean, honestly, at first I was like, am I going to say that she's annoying? But I was like, I don't know her. And at the end of the
True.
day, like I said, she's made a name for herself and she has a lot going for herself. So
Yeah.
I like that instead of the typical NBA wife that people stereotype them to be like,
Yeah.
oh, he's with them for the money or she don't have no brain of her own, things like that. But
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna get into another topic I see going. People just always talking about this one. Bronny James, LeBron James' son. I feel like people are always kind of like over judging Bronny. Like we're not even for sure he wants to even go to the NBA. That has not. I don't think he's ever really. Is he said that out of his mouth? Like I know he's a prospect, and I know he wants to go to college and play
yeah,
basketball. But I'm not even sure like how much does he love. Like he might love it. He might want to go. So in that case, I guess it is fair to criticize him in some ways. But I feel like people are kind of just like overly criticizing him because like he is LeBron's son. What do you think about that?
that's what I think too. Just for the simple fact that he's LeBron James' son, it's a lot of pressure. So I think that's what people are basing things on. And then people, I'm sure they try to compare him to his dad when he was 18 in high school. But I don't think you can compare him because times are different. The whole basketball community and how young men play, it's just different now. So I don't
Yeah.
think that they should be judging him. But I understand he's LeBron James' son. They got the same name, things like that. But
Yeah, he's getting the bag. Like now, look, he got he got a Beats deal.
oh yeah,
Probably gonna get the Nike deal. I don't think he has that yet. And I just saw him on a commercial for God of War for PlayStation. So
ooh,
like,
see
it's like
that.
him and LeBron. So like, he's getting the bag.
Mhm.
But one thing I don't think we shouldn't be upset that LeBron is using nepotism to get his son some money. Like, isn't that like the point of being a good dad? To put your
Yeah,
like son in the situation like that is kind of the point, right?
yeah, because he's building something for him. So when he gets out there by himself, he'll have a lot going for himself, and he'll just pretty much take what he's learned from his dad and everything. So I think that what LeBron is doing for him is good.
Yeah,
Because if you have tools to help your son out, get him where he needs to be in life, then I think that's great.
yeah, and it's like, and I forgot he has the contract with FaZe Clan too, which is I would say what the biggest gaming clan or one of them. Like,
I don't even know about gaming
yeah, but
like
like he
that,
even has
but
that contract, so he's just hitting the bag, and he's like crazy streamer too. Like he's one of the people that put me on to Twitch in the first place. He's been on Twitch for years, but then like you were saying, I feel like that's like a black thing too, though. Like as black people, we like want other black people to like grind out stuff. Like weirdly though, like you don't necessarily have to do like we're like projecting like very old like pull yourself up by your bootstraps stuff
like
on
you don't have to
other.
go through what your parents went through.
You
Like,
don't have to do that. That's actually the point of being a good parent that you make your kids not have to go with what you went through. So
mhm.
I don't know.
Like, why let them struggle if they don't have to? So,
I know damn sure I hope my kids have to struggle. Like that's literally the goal why I'm going so hard now in so many different things. I'm like something has to freaking work by the time I have a kid.
mhm.
So yeah, I
I don't
mean,
want that at all.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, so you have Serena Williams in the background. I mean, look at her
Mhm.
daughter. She's playing tennis every day on the court. I see the little
Yeah,
videos. They said she's the truth. She's like 3, I think, but she's pretty good to me. Serena's already putting her best foot forward. So yeah,
exactly.
do you have any last things on Bronny?
Um, no, I hope he has a good senior year. So we'll see
True.
what he does.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where he commits to. This is gonna be very interesting because Mikey Williams committed to Memphis. We'll see where Bronny
Mm-hmm.
commits. But okay, Faith, I'm very glad you came on. We definitely have to do this again. And yeah, just again, make sure I'll drop Faith stuff probably in the chat later, like her Instagram and Twitter's. If you first if you want people to follow you from here. Because you might not even want
That's
people.
fine. Sure.
Okay.
Get connected with some people.
Okay. So yeah, again, I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop your stuff in there so people can follow you and everything. And we definitely have to do this again.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Had a really good time. This was fun. Yep. We got to do this again.
For sure. All right, Faith. All right, now I got one more. I have two more guests, but my next guest, good friend. Anytime it's college football, I either tag him or text him because I am genuinely like I'm just trying to learn, and I know he's already just ahead of me at the whole sport. So I'm texting him about all my college football and NFL stuff. I'm gonna bring out my next guest, Alec Elijah. All right, my guy, how you doing?
What's going on, Ron? Man, I'm doing all right. I can't complain.
Yeah,
It's been fun out here in California, but can't complain, man. I've been busy. You know, the whole draft's coming up in a couple more months till the draft.
I've been seeing a lot of mock drafts coming up. PFF doing some. The Athletic with Dan Brugler. I think CBS just had one come out. So like the season is coming for the draft.
Season is definitely upon us.
Yeah. So how's school been?
School's been great, man. I really can't complain. San Jose State's been a good blessing for me. I mean, I've been on the sidelines for them every home game that they've had. So it's been super fun, man, for real.
Yeah, no, that's tough. Okay, now I got some good college football topics for you. We're gonna start with this one. We got who's the number one pick right now in your opinion? Who is essentially the number one prospect in this year's draft?
Essentially, I mean, in my mind, really, I think it's CJ Stroud. You know, everybody did talk about Will Anderson at the beginning of the season. I was a huge Will Anderson guy too. I was kind of thinking, you know, maybe this guy can go number one. This season really hasn't been what he wanted, I feel like, just because last season was an absolute tear for him. This season, he's focused a lot more on just being a defensive playmaker on the entire field rather than just attacking the quarterback. He's been a big leader on Alabama. I still think he is in contention to be that number one pick. But, you know, just the things that CJ Stroud has been doing and then all these teams that we've seen this season in the NFL, I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 teams that really do need to go after a quarterback in this draft. And I feel like because of, you know, the top 3 picks right now, I think it's the Panthers, the Raiders, and there's another team that I'm forgetting. Those are essentially, they're going to be 2 teams already, Panthers and Raiders, that are going to need a quarterback as soon as possible.
So you have Stroud is your QB1. I think he was your QB1 preseason too.
Yeah, he was already my QB1 preseason anyway. So I do believe he's already solidified himself as the number 1 pick. If he does go ahead and win the Heisman this season, I think that's only going to make his case even greater. And like I said, because of the need for quarterbacks with the top, you know, within the top 10 picks, we're definitely going to see Stroud go first, I believe.
Yeah, I have to. I think it's like a 3-way race. I guess if you said Will Anderson's probably there and Stroud is probably Bryce. Now Bryce, the last couple of games, I mean, I guess the numbers haven't necessarily been what we're used to Heisman Bryce Young, but like overall, I think based on the circumstances that the receivers are not as good as last year's receivers. They do have guys, but they need time. And I think he's just showing you stuff still late at games that you still should have confidence in them. And I personally, so you think Bryce is a better? So okay, let's start with Stroud. Do you think Stroud is a better prospect than Fields?
Actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, I do think Stroud is a better prospect, just because Stroud reads the field. He scans the field and he locates all of his receivers. You know, the biggest thing that I feel like a lot of people didn't look at with Trevor Lawrence, but Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence both did the same thing, was they got stuck on their number 1 option almost majority of the game. And they were able, you know, safeties and corners can read that. They're just looking directly at their number 1 option. While Fields did have, you know, a plethora of receivers to go to, you can easily tell who his number 1 was. You can tell who he was going to target all game. And, you know, Trevor Lawrence did the same exact thing. Stroud really, he scans the field. Bryce does the same thing. Although it is a little bit harder this season for Bryce because, you know, we do talk about the talent level at wide receiver. Although it is, you know, it's still Alabama. They're still a team that you expect to go out and put superstars on the field just because that's what we're accustomed to seeing, you know, with guys like Ruggs, Cooper dating back way back when,
Julio.
You know, Judy, Waddle, you know, guys like that. And then we go over to this season. You can't really tell who's the wide receiver 1 in Alabama. So I feel like that's really kind of taken away from Bryce. But at the same time, Stroud has guys like Ibuka. He has guys like Harrison Jr., who's probably the most electric wide receiver in the nation right now. And even then, you would think that his numbers would be a lot higher than what they are. I mean, understandably, some of the wide receivers have been injured. Stroud also took a small injury.
Yeah.
So it definitely did, you know, play a huge role in that. But right now, I do think Stroud is the better prospect. Bryce is wholeheartedly, I think Bryce is a winner. He doesn't show any type of bad body language, which I love in a quarterback. There have been times where you can see Stroud make a bad play, or maybe somebody drops the ball and he doesn't drop his shoulders. He'll start looking down at the ground, or, like he just shows a lot of emotion. And that's, so that's some stuff that we see with Kyler Murray now in the league. And he was a hell of a prospect. But Bryce Young, I love as a prospect just because he has that leadership mentality. You can rally around a guy like that. He's got that Russell Wilson-esque feel to him.
I was thinking that he just.
But
there've been a lot of people that have been calling to Russell Wilson, or maybe even Breeze, and I think the last one was probably with Breeze one specifically was Tua, and I thought Tua was a good prospect. I just thought it was the hip, which should have been a red flag to me early on because I didn't realize how serious. Now that I know, as some years of doing it, that hip is like a really serious injury. So I feel like he needed some time. But now Tua has been looking a lot better this year. But do you think that Bryce is even a better prospect than Tua?
I don't think Bryce is a better prospect than Tua. Tua just had tangibles that we really, we really loved as scouts.
Accurate, yeah.
Like I said, Bryce's biggest tangible is that you can rally around this guy. He's a natural leader and he's a winner. Those are going to be his biggest tangibles. But when you look at, right off the rip, if you look at size comparing, Stroud to Bryce Young, you're going to love Stroud's length. You're going to love how big he is. Mobility. I mean, Bryce can escape the pocket and run from time to time, but Stroud will literally just leave the pocket and book it for 10, 15 yards, which, teams are going to love, especially in this NFL where, you kind of want quarterbacks to be mobile now. I mean, there's of course those guys, we see prospects like Mac Jones, who stays in the pocket a whole lot, but even then he'll break off for a 10-yard run every now and then. But, prospect wise, I think Stroud is just a little bit above Young. I think Young though is going to have, he's still putting up a battle just because, you can rally around this guy. He's a leader. I don't see, not that I don't see a leadership quality in Stroud, but I feel like Bryce Young is just a lot more vocal. He doesn't show bad body language, which, that's the biggest thing for me in a quarterback.
Good. Like he's just showing like you late the game. It's like, okay, we need to drive Bryce. And it's just like he just can seem to make that last play, or can just seem that you just feel confident that even if it doesn't, that the play will happen. And I feel like that's just a trait. If you're a receiver, a running back, a coach, you just feel more confident going into the game, knowing that, okay, even if we're down, we do have Bryce. And that's just, even if it doesn't happen, I'm confident that he has a chance to pull this off. That's probably like you said, that's probably one of his best traits. Is probably, if I'm getting that feeling from the TV, I'm sure his teammates are. But okay, I'm going to move on to the college football playoff picture. I think it got a little more. It was getting real muddy because it was like TCU wasn't a top 4 team. They were undefeated, but then we got a loss, and now TCU is 4 right now. What do you think about the current 4 teams in the college football playoff?
So I mean, if we just take a look at the current top 4, we got 1 at Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 Michigan, 4 TCU. Wholeheartedly, I really do think, season after season, I think Georgia and Ohio State are locked in for the playoff appearance this season. The next 2 spots with Michigan and TCU being at 3 and 4, I feel like those could potentially be up for grabs, within these next 2 weeks, before the committee does decide who's really going to go to the college football playoff. Now, obviously, you're going to look at this top 4, and the biggest surprise is TCU. But, as you mentioned, they've been on a tear this season. They're 10-0. Their offense features one of the best wide receivers in the nation with Quentin Johnson. 100%. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just really unstoppable. Once he gets on the field, regardless of who's in front of him, he's going to get his game off at some point. Max Duggan, who's been a mobile quarterback machine, he's currently top 25, in yards per game, rushing yards per game, and he's 8th in the country in points per game with TCU. So that's definitely something that a lot of teams are going to look at. I mean, there's a big chance that TCU does remain in the top 4 just because their next 2 opponents are going to be Baylor and Iowa State, which I feel like they can go ahead and win those 2 games. So when the committee does make a selection, I mean, there's a possibility that TCU is going to be 12-0. So
what if Tennessee somehow gets in there with 1 loss?
Yeah,
their only loss is to Georgia. So like that, come on, like that's damn the best team in the country. So what do you do? Because Tennessee maybe has, people argue like who had the harder schedule this year. I guess you could argue that point.
Yeah. Tennessee is one of the teams that I do have, still in playoff contention. I have Tennessee and Oregon. I know it's going to come as a little bit of
really? Yeah,
surprise to
Oregon
folks.
still.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, Oregon and Tennessee are dealing with the same thing. They both took a loss to Georgia, and it wasn't a pretty one either.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. So I feel like that's going to play a big part in that, just because Tennessee's was going to be it was a lot more recent. So recency bias is always going to play some type of part in putting together these playoff boards. But Tennessee is one of those teams that they really can get going these next 2 weeks. I feel like they can definitely potentially peek their head if TCU, for whatever reason, takes a loss. I mean, we also have Michigan. Michigan still has to play Ohio State in 2 weeks.
I think Michigan has a chance to beat Ohio State again. That's
Yeah.
not. And what if the weather's bad? What if that's a 30-degree game? Ohio State is probably the most explosive offense in college football right now. But if it's a nasty game, that favors Michigan with Crom.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing with Michigan. They're so run heavy. I mean, they're number 4 in the nation when it comes to rushing. So you really don't know how to game plan for them. I mean, I'm sure Ryan Day really hasn't forgot about last season's loss to Harbaugh. So that game is definitely going to have a lot of implications going forward. And I mean, potentially if Michigan beats Ohio, I mean, we could see Ohio drop potentially to 4, maybe even 5. We'll have to see how that game plays out. Like I said, TCU does have, a pretty easy schedule ahead of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they stay at 4. They, move up to 3. I don't think they exceed 3 whatsoever. But
yeah, no way.
Like I said, they're going to be a team to look out for. Tennessee is going to be one of those teams that could be the dark horse entering college football playoffs. But I'm just worried because we already seen what Tennessee can do against Georgia. I mean, Georgia's just one of those defenses that you really don't know what to expect. You really do have to have a high explosive offense to face a defensive team like Georgia.
Yeah.
Tennessee, they're explosive for sure, with Jalen Hyatt, Hendon Hooker. But, you get a guy like Keely Ringo up against Jalen Hyatt, and you're like, all right, what's going on here,
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of those things that we just have to see going forward. I mean, if I do have to give my final predictions for the college playoffs, I really do think they're going to go 1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State. Like, I really do think they're going to beat Michigan. I think TCU bumps up to 3, and I think Tennessee goes ahead and slides into that 4 spot.
Oh yeah, because I don't think Michigan can get in with 1 loss. I just don't. I don't think the committee even likes Michigan enough. Like maybe the Tennessee, like you said, with 1 loss, because just of who they've beaten Bama. That's a favorite of college football fans. I feel like that just gives them a boost.
Yeah.
So, but Ohio State, if they somehow lost Michigan that flipped, I think they just would have a better chance just because of the pedigree.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was the same thing as last season. They beat Ohio State, and it was like, we can't keep these guys out of the playoffs.
Yeah, because regardless, like they still have a chance. If, like you said, if we're looking at Georgia, like can anybody actually beat Georgia? Ohio State has a really good offense, and they have a good corner. Smith and Jigba is back now. It looks like he's getting healthier each week with Marvin Harrison. They should have just as good of a chance as anybody.
Definitely.
But okay, now we're going to talk a little Heisman. I think this is a tight race. Do you think is there anybody just like running away with the trophy right now?
I mean, really. I mean, when you had sent me this, I really had to sit down and think about who really was my Heisman favorite. And really, I mean, right now, I really don't think that there's a clear-cut favorite. I have 3 Heisman favorites right now. The first one is Blake Corum from Michigan, the running back. He's been on an absolute feasting session between the college football teams that he's had to face. He hasn't had a single game this season without a rushing touchdown. That's uber impressive. I mean, since week 3, he's had 7 straight games with a minimum of 100 yards on the ground. And right now he's sitting at a little over 1,300 yards with 17 touchdowns this season. His biggest test was Penn State. 2 weeks, he'll have another big test against Ohio State. He's got to play Illinois this upcoming week. Illinois is also ranked, so they're definitely going to put up a little bit of a battle. I do see Corum still getting his 100 off against Illinois, however. But the next biggest test is going to be Ohio. It's the big rivalry game, so they're going to look, they're going to look for their star player to eat. At number 2, I have Drake May from UNC.
Oh, UNC.
I think he has been, yes, he's a true freshman. I think he's one of the most electric freshman quarterbacks this season. He's been a dual threat machine, really. He's right now he's sitting third in the nation with 3,412 passing yards, and he's tied for first with Stroud with 34 passing touchdowns. And he has a QB rating of 88.5, which is top 5 in the nation right now.
Yeah.
As a true freshman, I mean, this is absolutely insane, really. His rushing does set him apart from some of these other college football quarterbacks. He's got 584 yards already with 5 touchdowns on the season. Now, obviously, the biggest question mark with a guy like Drake May is, well, who's he facing? He's in the ACC conference. So obviously they're going to take a look at his schedule. But if you go back and you look from the beginning of the season, he's played teams that were ranked at some point. He played Notre Dame, Miami, Pittsburgh, and Wake Forest, and came out with a win in all of those games. So it's really going to be, that type of argument is going to be a little bit hard when you see UNC's schedule. They've actually played some legitimate teams that have had upsets this season that have, been ranked. So I do think Drake May is making an excellent case right now. I feel like a lot of people aren't really taking a peek at him just because he is a true freshman.
In the ACC.
Yeah, but I think he is one of those guys that is going to need love. And then third, I mean, obviously, I think I have Stroud. I think he's in a heated battle for sure this season. Obviously, there's no clear-cut favorite, but Stroud has been getting his game off, really. He's sitting at 2,750 passing yards already this season, and I think he can crack 3,000 easily within these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Especially with Smith and Jigba coming back. Harrison Jr. has been on a crazy tear lately. And then Egbuka, who always, manages to get himself a couple yards.
Yeah,
he can definitely crack 3,000. So we'll have to see what it comes down to. There's also, Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting a lot of love in the Heisman race, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But I was taking a look at his, stats. And if we look at, the past wide receiver Heismans, they're not really stacking up with them. But I get it. He's electric. He comes in the game and just absolutely tears up any corner in front of him.
Last week, that was like if he wins the Heisman, that's the video they'll show. That catch where 90% of your body is out of bounds, and somehow your knee/ankle is still in bounds to toe tap it. Like that is just, it's like the week before, then you mossed the Michigan State guy where you're essentially taking the ball over his back. So like he just, like you said, I don't think because the last time when the wide receiver we have Smitty, so. He's not going to get those type of stats. But I think he's more of the highlight reel guy.
Yeah, most definitely.
Which is fun. I don't think that's Heisman worthy, but people mentally you think he would be because all you see is the Bleacher Report highlights every single week. He makes at least a play a week.
Oh, he for sure makes a play a week.
Like he's like LaMelo, but when LaMelo's playing, he's going to get a highlight like every game. Same with Marvin Harrison, so I think he's been good. But then we have Hendon Hooker, I think still has a shot. He has he's second in QBR, so he has a 90.2 QBR rating. I think that's he's only thrown 2 picks in the season.
Yeah,
4 touchdowns. He almost has 3,000 to 280, 888 yards. I think his name is still dangling in that too. And I guess I'm not gonna say sadly because I'll go for Tennessee's favor. They don't play Georgia or Bama again in Tool if they make the playoff.
Yes,
it's probably good for them, but might not be great for his Heisman case because if he can somehow play Georgia, I don't think they would win. But if they somehow even made it closer, they won. Then clearly he'd probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I mean that game. So
yeah, same thing with Hendon Hooker. I mean, people are making the same case for Bo Nix, but it's one of those. It's one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, it's Bo Nix.
Yeah.
So we've seen what he can do previously. But then you look at his body of work this season, and it's like, well, this is a different Bo Nix. I mean, this is the Bo Nix that everybody thought they were going to see.
Oh, this is night and day. This is a different. This is like if he switched, this isn't even Bo. This is Nick's Bo. Like this is just some other guy. Because from Auburn to now, like this man has a cannon. Well, okay, we knew he had a cannon. That was never in question. But now it's like, oh. He's actually like hitting receivers in stride with the cannon.
And not even that, but he's showing leadership. Like he's letting Oregon rally around him. And I mean, that's only going to help his case as a prospect for sure. But even then, I mean, Bo Nix is, he's not afraid to tuck the ball and run, which we've seen week after week. I mean, the past 4 or 5 weeks already.
Yep.
I mean, his team has been rallying around him when they are down and they make these comebacks that it's like, they had a shootout with UCLA, which everybody loved. and then the Washington game, which Bo
Big
Nix
game.
completely just took over. So he's making a case as well. But obviously, same thing with Drake May being in the ACC. They're going to look at Bo Nix and be like, well, he's in the Pac-12.
Which is crazy because the Pac-12 has like 5 good teams this year. Like Utah is good, UCLA is good, Washington's good, USC is good, Oregon's good. Like the Pac-12, pretty deep conference this year. I mean, sadly, I guess we just like, damn. Now I feel crazy about the USC and UCLA leaving. I'm like, wait, this conference could actually they were starting to come up. So that kind of sucks, like for the college football fan, because like, I get the money and the time of the games and all that type of stuff, but it seemed like the conference was actually starting to get better. So that kind of looking forward to that. What's that? That's not to 2025 anyway, but that still kind of sucks.
And I mean, speaking of USC too, I mean, Caleb Williams is still hanging around somehow. I've seen his name pop up a couple times in these Heisman, candidacies.
My friend brought him up yesterday. He said I think that was his favorite, was Caleb Williams.
He was definitely a lot of people's favorite at the start of the season, but as the season progressed, we've seen these other quarterbacks completely take off, and I feel like I'm not gonna say they left Caleb Williams in the dust, but I feel like he's a little bit far behind in this Heisman race. I feel like if he's in any type of race, he's gonna be at 6 or 7 right now. Because even then, I'd probably make a case for Bo Nix above Caleb Williams right now, to be honest.
Okay. Now I got this one last question for you. Your New England Patriots, this is a team that I don't bet money on because I don't know what to expect week out of week. Now I know the team wants to run the ball. The rookie corner. I mean, this is Bill Belichick and corners just go together. Yep. So we know that's been good. The defense, I think, has been pretty good. But then Mac Jones has been struggling this year. So just lastly, before you leave, what is just your New England? What is your take on the New England Patriots?
I want to be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of work to be done, for sure. I had high hopes for this season. I was, thinking let's hit the playoffs at least, but
I think they will make it though. Maybe.
Yeah, but the way the East is so loaded right now, like Miami, the Jets, the Bills. I mean, at this point, they might as well take our entire division into the playoffs because
now they are right now. Like all 4 teams from the AFC East are in the playoffs.
Yeah. Thanks to the Chargers' loss last night, yes, the Patriots are now at the last seed in the playoffs. So, that's pretty impressive to say the least. Mac Jones dealing with the injuries and stuff like that. It definitely hurt. I mean, I liked bringing in Bailey Zapp just because I was super high on the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be, we've seen it on Twitter, like, let's keep Zapp in, all this good stuff. But it's like, we know Mac Jones can win. Like, he came in as a rookie, took the team to the playoffs, a team that nobody even thought was going to the playoffs. I feel like this is definitely just one of those shaky seasons. I mean, I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this season. Going into next year's draft, I'm hoping we finally obtain a true wide receiver one. I've been, begging and pleading for one for about 2-3 years now. Not that we don't have guys, guys like Tyquan Thornton, who's finally back from injury, who, he did score.
Blazer, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can definitely turn it up, but there's not a true wide receiver one. Devontae Parker is aging as the seasons go by. It's just, we have small, we still always have those slot guys that always want to get the job done.
Yeah,
but
sure.
In terms of like having a true wideout, we really do need one. And, some of the wideouts that are in this draft class, I feel like these are definitely some of the guys that can help Mac Jones immensely. Offensive line-wise, I mean, some guys are getting old, but we do have, rookies like Cole Strange who have been putting on absolute clinics. I'm absolutely loving it. Defensively, I mean, corners and Bill Belichick, they just go together. We look at J.C. Jackson over at the Chargers now, not having as much success as he did last season. I mean, he did get his bag for sure, salute to the bag.
Yeah.
But if we take a look at what he was doing, last season, his body of work with New England versus what he's doing now with the Chargers, it's definitely not the same guy you would be used to seeing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, again, I appreciate you for coming on the live stream. We're trying to grow Phranchise Mode, take it to new heights. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on everything. Again, I'll drop your stuff in the comments and everything after you leave and everything. And yeah, I appreciate you for coming on. I got actually Najee's coming on after you to do some NBA. So if you care about that, you definitely watch that as well. So again, I appreciate you though.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for having me. I'll be back soon for sure on the franchise mode. We'll do this. We'll do this like once a month for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
And
Definitely.
we'll keep everybody entertained. But I appreciate you having me, bro.
All right, though. All right. All right. So now I have another guest coming. We're going 3 for 3 tonight. Everyone's been amazing. I got my guy Najee, aka No Layups. So we're going to bring him on. All righty. Here we go.
What's up? What's up, my boy?
Yeah, I saved the most toxic for last.
You're right. You're right. You already know.
I saved the most toxic for last.
You already know. What's
So,
good?
Nah, chilling. We had 2 other guests on before, but yeah, now we're at the third, and we haven't talked. We did NBA like best dress, and we did like some other trendy Aisha Curry, some other people early with my friend. But now we're going into some other NBA stuff, and I just want to start with my guy Luka Doncic. This is a take I haven't even made. I saw my Max from the Max Falcon podcast. I saw him talk about it, and I saw what's the guy from the Volume? I saw him talk about it. So yeah, Jason Timpf. I saw Jason Timpf talk about this too. It's like, yeah, we know Luka's like top. I would say like top 3, top 4 player in the league, but can that play style win championship? Because the truth, the only person we've ever seen do it with that play style is LeBron James. What do you think?
All right. So I was actually just thinking of this today. Can it win a championship? Yes. The LeBron Magic. You can win a championship with that play style.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a cap on how much you can consistently win championships with that. I do think you need more luck. You need a super team, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably need luck. Well, you need luck to win any championship.
Yeah, any championship.
Yeah,
Right.
but you need it even more with that play style, and you need like a super team. Because when I look at Magic and LeBron, I mean, Magic has 5, went to 9, but most of those teams were super teams. And when Kareem fell off, he only really won, and when they got that phantom call against the Pistons.
Yeah.
And then they went back again, but they lost to Jordan and stuff. I mean, they went back twice, but they lost.
I mean, they still had Worthy at the end of the day. He still had another Hall of Fame
Worthy, and they was deep too. But even then, like, it's hard to consistently win. And then LeBron, like, yes, he's made it a lot. You know, whether how do you feel about the East, but all the years he won, I mean, the 2 in Miami, you could say were super teams. That Cavs team was amazing. Like, don't say overshadows them, but they were amazing. And the bubble one was the closest to not super team, but that team was deep. Like, and
Anthony Davis was a top 10 player. People were arguing me that he was the best player in the NBA. I promise
he was top 3 that year. Like, literally,
he was better than like bro. No, AD's the best player in the league. Like, I swear, this is how Kawhi got the same thing the year before. He was getting that type of buzz.
I was one of them ones that thought AD was better than LeBron that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just need like a super team. The team gotta be really deep, and you need luck. And then you look at Luka's team, like, all right,
these are role players.
Yeah, like it, and then it sucks because you don't know how, because they're not bad enough to draft somebody good, and you don't know, and I don't think they have the cap to make it work, and I don't think the role players are good enough to trade for somebody. So.
Yeah, I don't know like who comes there. Like, people like maybe Levine should go. I'm like, bro, Levine is not changing a thing there. I would like him there. He'd be a great fit. He's not changed. Like, Zach Levine doesn't move the stick for a team. Like, not really as a second option. Like maybe Bill should go there. I don't think Bill moves the stick. I mean, yes, they probably go back maybe to the conference finals. But for one, I'm not even guaranteeing that because I'm not even sure even with Bill are they better than the Nuggets if the Nuggets are healthy. And that's not even including like the Warriors, and I guess we can't even talk Clippers right now the way they look. We have to just throw the Clippers out. And Kawhi's knee is like pops, like it's just deceased. So I'm just all the Clippers, but the Nuggets and the Warriors, we know our contenders in the West for sure, and the Utah Jazz allegedly. So so that's what's scaring me. It's like I want Luka to win by our second favorite player in the league, and now LeBron's basically a grandfather. He's my favorite player in the league. So I want him to win. I'm like, okay, is Spencer Dinwiddie and Christian Wood. This is your second and third best offensive options on the team. These are good players. And again, on that 2020 Lakers team, these would be players that could start on that team. But you still need Anthony Davis.
Right.
He doesn't have that, and I don't know where that comes from. So like Tatum, why the heck Boston let go of Tatum? Like,
Yeah.
why would you even? But like him and Tatum, like okay, that would be his Anthony Davis in that type of version of events. But maybe Lucas has to just stick it out some years, get some second round exits, and just hope eventually somebody comes.
Right. Or he's, I don't know. Like, it sucks because you want to see him win. Like, I love seeing great players win. Like, even though I may not like a player's play styles, I love seeing greatness wins. And it sucks when they can't win, which is part of the reason why we just need to stop defining players' legacies by rings. But that's neither here nor there. But you really want to see him win. You really want to see it. At most, I honestly feel like if he ever wins, he may get one. 2 may even be a stretch, but it sucks, man. It's just one of those things where the only way he can really increase his chances of winning isn't how he plays. So it will be like a totally different play style. And who knows if that's the best version of Luka if he changes his game.
And then it's like for this team, people are like, well, he's like over 40% usage. I'm like, bro, if you watch the Mavericks, he has to be 40%. Like,
yeah,
Dinwiddie is the only other creator on the full. Well, I guess Jaden Hardy, but for some reason, well, I'm not gonna say for some reason, he's not good enough to be an NBA player probably yet. Maybe next year, or the year after that. Maybe they're hoping he cooks up. But right now, there's him and Dinwiddie. And if Dinwiddie goes down, oh, this is over. Like, and the fact that you have this much faith in Spencer Dinwiddie that he has to play damn near 82 games for you to even make the playoffs is very scary.
Yeah, man, them boys. Yeah, if he had a Memphis roster, I'll feel more like okay, he can probably end up the game.
If he had the Memphis roster with all those young legs and still the shooters that play defense, and I feel like okay, maybe he can like raise Jaren Jackson Jr. to be just a little bit much of an even better player, even with all those other boys, which Ja is doing. But Luke is probably even better, more of a better playmaker than even Ja.
Right. So wish him the best of luck, but it ain't looking too bright. And I don't think Mark Cuban or anybody letting him leave anytime soon.
Oh no! Mark Cuban is probably selling the Mavs. And he look like Mark Cuban is not letting any foreign player leave the Mavericks if he wants them there. Period.
Yeah, even JJ Barea stayed around there forever.
Yeah, like come on. But anyway, okay, let's move on to some MVP stuff. We did Heisman with my last guess. Now we're gonna do NBA's version of the Heisman. We got NBA's early MVP. I had to really look for this one. So just I'm gonna let you go first on this one. See who you have. Like, at least like your top 2 guys or whatever. You could go.
So Curry's having an MVP caliber year, but his team sucks. That bench is dragging.
Well, we probably project. I guess the team gets better. Like they're gonna be like 4 or 5. Right?
The Luka problem is it's weirdly feeling like nobody gonna want to do it, but it's weirdly feeling like it's gonna fall into Giannis' hands. Oh, Tatum, him or Tatum.
First I had Giannis.
Yeah,
I just think this might be one of his best years.
It may be his best,
and that says a lot.
Yeah, it says a lot.
Like Giannis averaging 31 points per game, 5.3 assists, and 12.2 rebounds a game. And it's probably this year the best defensive player in basketball. Because I mean, Draymond's still been good. Bam's been good. I think he's been even better. He's
the best defender in the world, best player in the world, and they have like a historic defense this year.
And Chris Middleton isn't here yet. Pat Connaughton is not here yet. They can't shoot right now.
Here yet.
Javon Carter is literally a bucket right now. Now, I'm pretty sure you know about Javon Carter. I mean, we know.
Yeah.
32 points in a game. Like, he hit like 7 threes. It's basically just Giannis drive, triple team, kick, tray ball. Or Javon, Giannis drive, kick. He attacks the closeout. This is Javon Carter. Like, he's playing a damn role like the whole game. But Chris Middleton and Pat Connaughton aren't even here yet. Oh, guess what? Joe Ingles, he's like 35 years old, so I guess we can't rely on him to come back.
That's just spacing.
That's just spacing, though. Joe
Yeah.
Ingles is an NBA player. This is a player that can play in playoff games. Now,
Yeah.
30 minutes in a playoff game, no.
Nah.
15, 20 minutes in a playoff game is your eighth man. Oh, yeah. Sign him up. Like, look what's happening to Bobby Portis since he's come to the Bucks. Bobby Portis say, I'm not leaving this team. I'll take a little bit less money because my role is too good of a fit on this team, period. So I think it's Giannis. Now, Tatum is having a very good season. I think Tatum is averaging, let's see, 32, 4, and 7. And I saw Jason talk about it, that he thought Tatum should be lean more point forward role. He thought that because he hasn't been as good as ISO player. But this year, he's actually like top 10, I guess, what points per possession at his position in ISO scoring. So Tatum seems like he's gotten better at that. And I'm assuming the defense has stayed.
Yeah, his defense is good. Even though the team overall defense has dropped. I mean, you could say this, even though the defense has dropped because Rob Williams is out, Tatum's is the best offensive player on the best offense in the league.
Yeah, and then I just have to throw this other guy because I think we haven't named him. I just have to throw out my guy Donovan Mitchell. This man is having the best season of his career, offensively and defensively. To be honest,
yeah, he's killing. He has less of a he looks Mobley and Allen on defense with him. So he's hooping. I'm kind of skeptical about that team. It's just a little bit of things with that team. I'm kind of a little skeptical about.
Yeah. 2 small guards thing with no small forwards.
Yeah, and I need to see Garland consistently be Garland with Mitchell playing. Because he just had 51 yesterday. And I was looking, the first thing I said was, did Mitch play? He didn't play. So I'm like, okay, let me look out for that. Mobley needs to get better scoring. But Mitch is like, he's killing, and he's looking like a first teamer, all NBA this year.
I'm not gonna lie, he's probably on there.
Yeah, like
Devin Booker is playing like amazing this year. I think he has the vote probably over Booker.
He should. I mean, he's better.
So he's he's shooting 43% from 3, and Donovan Mitchell's a good 3-point shooter, yes, but he's not like an elite 3-point shooter. He's not a 40%er. He's like a 35 or 37%.
Yeah,
shooting 43% from the 3.
It's
pretty high. I mean, he's like their only scoring option when Garland's out, vice versa.
Right.
He's one of the best shot creators in the NBA right now, period. Like if you make a 2K build shot creator, he's doing that. Devin Booker, him, like that role at essentially one of the highest levels it can be.
Yeah, he's putting on a phenomenal year. Like I was a Rudy fan in Utah. I mean, but I just love how Mitch is playing this year. Like it's just fun to see like good basketball. And, like you're really watching the new generation just like take over year by year by year. Like you start to feel old.
And then another player that you would want to do by record would be Trae Young, but he's shooting like
when is he going to start making shots?
He's shooting 30% from 3, 37 from the field.
Yeah,
but 27 and 9. So like he's typical like volume stats. Like we'll see who watches the game guy. Because it's like, no, I ain't gonna lie. The passing this year, even though this is his best, I guess, number of passes, and the passes are like absolutely like tonight. Like he's supposed to be a top 5 passer in the league. Like it has to be. Like the passes taken are insane.
Sure.
Like cross court passes, the pick and roll where I have a big guy behind me. I just wait long enough till the center closes out, and then after the hoop. He's just the best in the league at these type of small guard passes. So I think numbers have to jump, but right now they're at the floor because they're like the second seed in the East right now.
Yeah, crazy. Like
wow.
I predicted Atlanta to be 8th, so I probably was expect some regression coming soon. But that pass, watching them two pass of that backcourt is fun because DeJounte can pass, Trey can pass. So John Collins he having fun.
Yeah, and Capella's 2020. Like
right.
20 points, 20 boards. Like this, come on. But yeah, I mean, he's been good. Okay. Now we're on to my favorite one. I think it's just I just have to talk about this team because this is when these are the most fun games I watch because they're so bad of a team.
Right.
It's like this is must watch TV because it's like everyone just likes seeing Lakers lose. I don't want to say the lose like LeBron, but it's like this is such a bad team. Is there first? Let's start with it. Realistically, could you even fix this thing even on 2K?
What do you consider fix?
Fix, I would say a conference finals. Because right now they're not even a playoff team.
I can make them outside conference finals. You can make them outside conference finals.
I'm assuming your first move would be to trade Russell Westbrook, guys.
This is the best time to trade him. Actually, this is the best time for the Lakers to trade quite a few pieces. Yeah, you would do the Miles Turner trade, and Buddy Hield. You get a puncher's shot of being a finals what's the conference finals contender, but you have to know that you're leaning on your starting five heavy, and any injury to any one of them, you're kind of screwed. But that's about the only thing you can do because they don't have no picks. They're hoarding the two they got, and they don't even own their pick this year. So even if they're trash, they're just making the Pelicans better.
They don't. That's the scary part. The Lakers, it's first, it's just Jeannie Buss. Man,
yeah, she need to sell the team.
I'm not gonna lie, you got to step down. This is bad.
She do.
Clearly, they don't want to step into the luxury tax. And you can't be in California and not want to step into the luxury tax. You can own the Timberwolves now, or the Wizards, and not step into the luxury tax. You cannot own a Los Angeles franchise and be cheap. Do we see the Dodgers? Do we see the Rams?
They spend
fucking money.
Right.
You can't be an LA team and move like you're the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You
team is not going all in. This team has not gone all in. I guess you could say they went all in for LeBron or whatever with the Westbrook trade. But then my argument back, isn't it your job to the player? Hey, you're a player. You don't get to make moves.
Because at a certain point, it's like a child. You want to make your child happy, but still, I'm the parent. No, you tell them no. The Lakers allegedly, what's being reported, Chris Haynes is a clutch sports guy, so take this with a grain of salt for what it's worth. Even though they say LeBron preferred DeRozan, the Lakers did lowball him on the offer, and even then, I don't think the DeRozan we're seeing now is what we will be seeing on the Lakers. And then they didn't want to keep Caruso. I read somewhere today they could have kept Caruso even after the Westbrook trade, but they didn't want to dip into the luxury tax, and that's just
cheap. You let go of damn near one of the probably as a point guard, probably one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Him and Smart. And Smart's
he's top 50. Sure.
Smart's 30 pounds bigger than him. So at his size, this is what you're gonna get. This is essentially the guy for his role, what he can do. If you had right now him and you still had Beverly and other couple of guys, you're teams are gonna want to hate to play you. This is the most thing to play.
Crazy defense.
You put Beverly on like a bigger guy. Now the bigger guy's scared to dribble. This is just a team you don't want to play. Now you're waiting for Dennis Schroeder to come back and you're trying to make sure he'll play that role. Which yes, he can defend. He's nowhere near the level of Caruso as a defender.
Man, I'm licking my chops versus Dennis Schroeder. I'm I'll take that over Caruso any day. Any day. It's just foolishness. And it's sad because, I don't like even seeing LeBron in this situation. I don't and this is so disgusting. You would probably be able to fix the Lakers by trading Anthony Davis, but nobody realizes how good Anthony Davis is because the Lakers are such a poverty situation that his trade value is people are disgusted about it. They're and he's still a really good player, really good.
Minimum, he's what, top 13 player in the league. We're not
middle. You can't even trade him because he's so devalued. You made Westbrook literally they really made him an untradeable asset. We thought he was with the Rockets. We saw the Wizards take him. We thought he was with the Wizards. We saw the Lakers take him. They really turned him into an untradeable asset.
I still think he has garbage time numbers he can put up on a team like the Wizards, a bad team.
Right, he can put up numbers.
Right now, the Wizards, if he went back to the Wizards, I'm telling you, he'd put up at least 20-10-10. The Wizards don't have the scoring. They need a passer. They aren't the best rebound. If he goes to a team that's like 7th seed playing team, he can make that team better.
Right.
But he can't make a team that wants to be a contender better because he doesn't play a role. He's not a role. He doesn't do basketball things, small things well. Because I always say why can't Westbrook just do Bruce Brown-esque basketball stuff?
Bro, It's the that role. We need to show more appreciation for that role because it's the Draymond thing with Ben Simmons too.
Yeah,
It's all like ideally you would think, yo, just screen, slip, roll.
it'd be
That
easy
role, it ain't as easy. Clearly, we've seen that not every player can do it.
because yeah, it's crazy. Because you're right. People have put that on Ben Simmons like, wait, why can't Ben Simmons just screen and roll, screen and pass, roll hard to the basket, shoot when open? Clearly, these easy things are very difficult to do in the NBA for max players, damn near. So
Yeah.
that's tough. But okay, if I can fix the Lakers, of course you have to trade. The first move is to trade Westbrook. He has to go. For one, you don't even need any guards. You have Schroeder come back. You have Beverly. You have LeBron. You don't need any guards. You just don't. You have Kendrick Nunn, who's been horrific. I don't know why, but he's been terrible. But technically, he is a point guard if you need one. I would trade Westbrook. If you said I would look at the Miles Turner Buddy Hield trade, I do think that's a lot.
That's a lot they asking for. That's OD. That's why I'm mad at them for not doing
it. And the thing about it that's weird, Miles Turner is on an expiring deal. So like, are they just gonna are they so tough? They're gonna just like lose Miles Turner? Just like,
bro, I just think it's a Lakers thing. I promise you, if we ask for Miles Turner, they're not asking for all of that. Like that's sick. Like they're trying to rob.
Who again is bad to us. Like for you, he's like, oh, this is actually like a pretty good player for the Pacers. Like he's a top 3 player probably on the team.
Right.
It's like, all right. And then you get 2 first, a first that we know the team is going to be trash. So these are going to be top 10 picks. It's tough. It's tough. Like really tough.
And for
I get them not like because they're trying to. It's like the Anthony Davis trade. Like they had to give up like OD because it's the Lakers, and that sucks for the team. Like they didn't give up Ingram, Lonzo. They didn't give up Kuzma, Josh Hart. Like it was a lot, and like 4 picks and like 3 swaps. Like it was just OD.
Yeah, that was sick.
like it was just crazy. So I would maybe look for another trade too. See if it like maybe the Jazz. You call the Jazz like maybe the Jazz take 1 pick and you get Lauri Markkanen and Clarkson or something. Like
when the Jazz start losing, start calling them because that's when they're gonna start selling.
Like I maybe they don't trade Lauri, which I think they should because he's not as good as he's shown. He's like barely a top 50 player if he even is.
Yeah, it's fool's gold right now.
Very fool's gold. So like if you get a first round pick in 2027 from the Los Angeles Lakers, Lauri Markkanen, that's probably a good trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, if they could drop Lauri and I said maybe Clarkson or maybe let's say Malik Beasley, probably fits better. You get Markkanen and Beasley, you give up 1 first and Westbrook. Doesn't necessarily like fix you, but it gives you another big that can actually play in a playoff game. I think we're not sure, and then it gives you Beasley, who's is a 6'7" wing shooter,
right?
And you have just hope he can play better defense. And then you kind of just gotta play around with the roster after that.
Just live with the results at that point.
Live with the results, but you got off Westbrook and you only give 1 pick. I guess you have to just hope LeBron can be a top 10 player, which he hasn't been to start the season.
And I don't think it sucks because I don't think it's any one move. I don't know if it's any possible moves unless you turn on trade override on 2K to really make this into
like it's only way is to cheat.
Yeah, a great team. Like I don't think there's any way to make this into a great team. Like you need, I don't know, you need to fast, pray to every god, and just hope. Like you may gotta sacrifice eating for a month at this point to make the Lakers good.
So but then I look at the other end like, wait a minute. Even if you suck, one, you're wasting a year of LeBron, which we know this is definitely probably his last year of any type of competent play based on the way he's looked.
Mm-hmm.
So you're essentially you've clipped your. That's my problem too, because essentially, like, are you just okay with not winning another chip for at least another 10 years? Essentially, you're saying yes, we're okay with that because the odds even of those picks being another LeBron AD next winning the chip are very low, like pretty low. It's hard to win a championship in the NBA if you get a top 3 player, essentially.
Right.
So for 1 year, you're saying you're going to be that bad, which would mean you would be tanking that means you'd be thinking of tanking in 2027 from 2022, which would be a crazy thing to say out loud. Because that means you're predicting that you'll be that bad that those picks will actually be valuable, which we don't know. It's 5 years away. That's also a wild thing about these picks. People have said these picks are good. I think they will be because Lakers are run by Genie Bus. But if you're Genie Bus, why would you think the picks are going to be bad?
Right. Why would you?
If you're good at your job, then You're actually like they're actually overvaluing your picks because if you're good at what you do, then no matter what happens, you'll be good in 2027. You can at least make the playoffs. And that pick means nothing at that point.
Right.
So that's the thing. And my last thing, how to fix the Lakers. Jeannie Buss steps down. And Rob Pelinka somehow got a freaking extension. This is one of the worst GMs in the
That's sick. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This is like Paul Bear. Like he has something over her.
He has
like,
something over her, or
yeah, or this is Phil Jackson part 2.
right.
So, like either he's goaded or he's goaded at this point because like he has leverage somehow. His leverage,
Bro, he had crazy leverage.
this is the worst GM in basketball. Like I'm okay. No, I'm not gonna lie. He's one of the worst GMs. Like he's bottom 5 GM. He's done nothing. Let's be real.
He fumbled the championship roster.
You traded KCP, great player right now. Kuzma, great player right now. And who else they lose for trading for Westbrook? It was one other player. Oh, Montrez. But like Montrez is a good 6 man. Like, he can come off the bench. Like he's a valuable regular season role player. And you traded that for Westbrook. Like
They lost 3.
Like Kuzma, what? Kuzma's probably gonna was if they trade him a first round pick and a player. He's that like right now for if the Warriors say, you know what, Moses Moody, all right, let's get Kuzma, we'll give him a pick. I'm picking him to go back. They're winning the championship. Like he's that big of a deal to a team like that. Whatever team gets Kuzma, if he's on the market by a trade, like he's the type of player that can put the team over like the Suns. Hey, we
come to Brooklyn.
Crowder,
Come
pick Crowder and give you a pick. All right, he's an inspiring deal anyway. He comes to the Suns. You're like, oh damn, they got Kuzma and Cam Johnson. These are just gritty players that can hit a 3-ball in clutch time. Like he changes that. You let this guy go. Like you let this man go. KCP looks amazing. He's the number 1 catch and shoot player in the NBA this season, like by percentage or points by possession on wide open catch and shoot shots for the Nuggets right now. These are guys you let go. Rob Pelinka. So the way to fix the Lakers, fire Rob, Jeannie Buss, step down. And don't and look, the brothers are there too. They can't touch it either. Somebody else has to come in and take control of this team.
There's somebody on the outside of that family.
Somebody outside that family. Maybe they like hire like Jeff Bezos. I don't know. Somebody with money just hops in there, pays luxury tax. Because look at the Warriors. Warriors are owned by like 6 or like 10 people. Like I mean, it's a face, but there's multiple people that are behind that money machine. So
yeah, they don't care. They're gonna drop that bag log and stuff there.
Yeah. But anyway, again, I appreciate you, G. Again, you can find Phranchise Mode on YouTube, which if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and eventually we're going to try to do some stuff with Apple and Spotify podcasts. I appreciate you all, and I'll try to drop G's social media handles in the comments. Yeah, and G, I appreciate you for coming on for sure.
No problem, my boy. Anytime. Hey, the Commanders getting that win tonight?
I don't have that happening. I would love for that to happen, personally.
Yo, if they get a win tonight,
lose, but
yo, we win tonight. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, so and that's about the oh yeah. So yep, for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna see this and I'm gonna try to clip some of these for TikTok and everything too. So I will let you know.
All right, my boy.
All right.